Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 2 of Trace Thursdays with Tracy, the show that I come on here solo and talk about all things politics. But except for tonight, I have a special guest, and I'm going to bring him on a little bit earlier than I thought. So, again, my name is Tracy. Obviously, you see the name there. The show is called Thursdays with Tracy, and every Thursday, I will be joining you all live, whether I have people in here or not have people in here. I'm going to give you all my thoughts on all things politics. So, the first thing I wanted to talk about tonight was the number of hospitalizations that have been experienced in some cities due to I'm not sure if you call it a second wave of COVID cases, but it's basically due to people who chose not to be vaccinated, and now they're getting the variant. And this variant, I don't know about you all, but it has me literally scared because I don't know how our government is going to deal with it. Is it going to require a booster shot? Is it going to require, some people even talked about mandating that. So it's very confusing, but I wish that people would stop politicizing getting a vaccine. I've heard every excuse in terms of, oh, this is my right. This is you're infringing on my personal choice. Well, your personal choice for you not to take a vaccine is fine, but at least when you get into public, wear some sort of mask if you know you have not been vaccinated. That's the least that you could do. And think about someone else out there who has a chronic disease like diabetes or cancer or hypertension or something that they're dealing with on a daily basis. Come on, people, we got to do better. So these numbers, like I said, they continue to rise. In Missouri, I was reading that the Springfield Hospital can't even house people in their hospitals, and they're asking the state to open up some alternate sites. Kansas City is running out of space. Places literally all across the country. There's even been a rise here in Indiana. So again, I know I didn't mean to get on the soapbox of wear a mask, but wear a mask if you're not going to choose to be vaccinated. This is too serious, and we literally could be out of this if people just decided to do the simple thing and get vaccinated. It's not for you, for someone else. And again, if you choose not to get vaccinated, that's perfectly your right. But at least have the decency to wear a mask in public so that no one is catching something that you possibly have. So I wanted to talk about that. And then I wanted to talk about Biden's speech last night about voter rights. And this is where I told Marlon I bring him on halfway through. But actually, I want to hear his thoughts about this speech. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him on now. So hold on, guys. I'm going to bring him on here. Hello, Marlon.
Hello.
Now, Marlon hosts another podcast that sometimes I'm on called, you say it because I always forget the exact title.
Radical Truth to Power.
Yes. So that's a podcast he hosted. And like I said, I've been on it once or twice. So did you happen to catch Biden's speech?
No.
Yeah.
I stopped listening to speech and stopped paying attention to what they're doing. Because I'm tired of listening to the talking. Because you can make a great speech. But if there's no action behind it, I don't want to hear you no more. I didn't even know he had a speech yesterday.
Oh, he had one. It was on the voters' right. That's going on. And not one time, first of all, I don't know why everybody kept clapping for him. I'm like, he's not saying anything. He's not talking about that he's in favor of the filibuster that's keeping this John Lewis Act and For the People Act from being heard in the first. He's not telling this audience that. And then he gets in front of them and pretends, oh, look at me, I'm making this strong speech, and they're clapping like he threw a touchdown. I'm like, stop. Stop.
These speeches these days in Hollywood, Florida Smith in Washington, D.C. is no more than show business. I'm going to say what I think the people are going to say. And Biden is doing nothing different than what Trump did. I'm going to say what my base figure I'm going to say. I'm going to get the good applause. I'm going to get the pat on the back. And then I'm going to do absolutely nothing. So I don't even look at speeches no more. I don't look at state of the address speeches. I don't do any of those things. What I want to see is what you put the pen to paper, what things do you change, and then I pay more attention to you.
He hasn't put much to paper, has he? Really? If you think about it, we got $1,400 checks, we got the vaccine, and we got $2,000. Please don't start me on that. Please, if we want audience, if y'all want me to stay calm, don't start me on the lie about the $2,000 checks.
I'll just say I know how to add some pride.
Well, I was talking to some people who were obviously Biden supporters, and they kept trying to sell me, oh no, I interpreted it to be $1,400. Are you serious? He said $2,000.
If you vote me in, the $2,000 check will be out the door.
That's exactly
what he said. He didn't say $1,400.
Nope.
Nowhere in his speech did he say, if you vote me in, well, you already got $600. So I'm going to give you $1,400.
Nope, he never did.
$1,400 back will add up to $2,000. So there's your $2,000.
Yeah, he did not say that.
That's not what he said.
And that's why he won Georgia. I wonder, we'll get to that a little bit later. But back to the speech he made. I'm like, okay, first of all, it was too long. Somebody should have told him, look, you could have talked 5 minutes and sat down somewhere and be quiet. He didn't say anything again about the fact that he supports the filibuster, and it's the filibuster that's stopping, but yet people keep falling for this, and I don't know when are people going to stop falling for these same tricks over and over and over and over again.
Biden has said one thing, one way or the other about the filibuster. I take that as his support.
No, he's for it. He said in the past that he.
He has said it.
Yes.
Okay. Here's what I think of. What I think about the filibuster. Hold on. I gotta take this off. Sorry. Here's what I think about filibuster and how scared the Democrats is. They're afraid that if they end the filibuster and they lose the House and the Senate, then they can't fight the Republicans. I wish somebody would tell them you didn't fight them when Trump was in office, and you had the filibuster. So
exactly,
what difference does it make?
And they know the history of the filibuster. It was rooted in racism. It was used to keep black people from having equal rights. Why? Nobody knows that. I will never know. But again, I just wish people would just wake up and be like, you know what? Neither of these parties are for me. Because you have the Republicans taking corporate money. You have the Democrats. What's the difference? There's really no difference between a Republican and a Democrat. They both have the same objective, and it's to make their corporate donors happy.
The only thing that I see that the Democrats have done is push everything to the middle again. And we have to get out of the mindset of comparing what we went through with Trump. Trump went far right, and it was a devastating far right. So we got the Democrats in, and we assume, okay, well, they're going to go in, they're going to help the people and everything else. That's what they said they was going to do. That's why we voted you in. And right now, all the moderate, let me rephrase that, all the moderates wanted to do was move everything back in the middle. Progressives want to move it far left. Democrat moderates want to be this. I want to help just enough, but I don't want to act crazy. I don't want to. I got people paying me, and I can't make them angry.
Yeah, that's the problem, because if you look at any issue, such as Medicare for all, 87% of Democrats are for it. 57, I think it's 57 or 60% of Republican voters are for it. That should say right there that that's not a far left idea to me, but apparently to the Jim Clyburns of the world, this is so radical. But then I have to think, oh, he takes money from Big Pharma. Big Pharma is not going to be from Medicare for all, so I have to remember that. But it's just like, and I think about this all the time and trying to do these type of podcasts, is what is it going to take for people to wake up and see, you know what, I'm tired and I'm going to change.
People like Jim Clyburn, who I'm pretty sure I'm related to in some type of way. So sorry, folks. Him and people like him, and help me out. People like the old Buffalo mayor who just
Byron
Brown. Clyburn and Brown are cut from the same cloth, and what I mean by that is they did good for the black community. They did push forth agendas for the black community. What my issue with them is their treatment is that's it. That's all we can do. Anything that you're asking for now is radical and out there, and that's impossible, and you don't know what you're talking about. I've been here for 2,000 years, and I know what but you young folks don't know what you're talking about. In other words, they really just give it up on trying to move forward because they really feel that where we at right now is as good as it's going to get.
I'm going to have to disagree with you slightly, because I don't think that people like that want to do anything. And here's how I can say that, my opinion. If you wanted a bill passed, you're a congressperson, and you want a bill passed, and you're really behind that bill, you're going to do everything possible to make sure that that bill gets a hearing. You're going to not take corporate money like Clyburn does. You're not going to take money like I'm pretty sure Byron Brown does. You're not going to complain when you lose that it's radical, this radical socialist, and defame a black woman in the way that he did. Their actions or inactions, to me, speak louder than any rhetoric that they're talking about. If you look at South Carolina, in terms of health, is one of the worst states. I think it's South Carolina, Kentucky, Indiana, probably Mississippi, all the states. And this guy is telling people, oh no, Medicare for all, that's too radical. Your people are literally dying. What are you talking about?
I made the mistake of putting those two together. So I'll take some responsibility for that. Clyburn think he done did enough.
Yeah, now that I'll agree with.
That's it for Clapper. Anything that progressive says, anything that we say, is a radical thought now. Because what he figured that he done is enough, and anything else that we ask for is a pipe dream.
Well, no, you didn't hear this interview, and I'm trying to bring it up here. He actually said he was a progressive. Well, I tried, so
who said he was a progressive?
Oh yeah, Jim Clyburn said he was a progressive. I'm about to bring this up right now because I had to especially prepare. So I'm gonna bring this up. And audience, if I disappear, just bear with me because I'm looking for this clip. He said
did he not agree with Obama about the sloganism?
He didn't agree with Obama about what? I'm sorry?
Sloganism. Everything is a slogan now what Obama said. That you can't, everything has to have a slogan too. And that's what Watergate found.
No, he said that over sloganism was killing the Democratic Party. I'm like, what?
But you're progressive.
I'm like, and I don't see a problem with the slogan defund the police because I think they do need to be okay. Hold on just some. Oh, here we go. I'm hoping I can share this with the audience because this clip it's so telling. I'm like, okay. Nope. Let's see. Nope. Okay, we're gonna share my screen here. Okay, so we're still looking here, and of course, audience, I'm learning this on the fly. Oh, there it is. Here it is. Can you see that screen?
I can see it.
Okay, let's play the clip.
You lost, and why that happened?
Well, it happened simply because we were not able to discipline ourselves according to voter sentiment. We keep making that mistake, this foolishness about you got to be this progressive or that progressive. That phrase, defund the police, cost Jamie Harrison tremendously. I'm not saying it was the only problem.
You sound kind of mad, Congressman. It sounds like you're blaming the more progressive members of your party for holding folks accountable or to a standard that doesn't work in their district. You blame the progressive members?
No, I don't blame progressive members. I want everybody in my caucus to be as practical as I am. That's the difference here. How are you going to look at me and say I'm not progressive? This foolishness about you more progressive than I am, that's poppycock, and I'm not going to listen to it.
If you could have a caucus meeting right now, and you would, or tell folks what they should do differently, given the losses that we have, what would you say to them?
Stop sloganeering. Sloganeering kills people. Sloganeering destroys movements. Stop sloganeering. And let's go about the business of representing people and building hopes and aspirations for people.
It seems to me, Congressman, while you all might be celebrating Joe Biden's victory in defeating Donald Trump, the Democratic Party, seems more fractured than ever.
It's not more fractured than ever. A party's not fractured by a tweet that goes out, or by the expression of one person.
Were you ever worried throughout this campaign and this process that those progressive ideas and slogans would hurt Joe Biden's chances at winning the presidency?
Joe Biden has some very progressive ideas.
The slogans, defunding the police.
Okay, I'm going to stop that mess right there because, you know what? Sometimes people need to shut up. Did you catch what he said? I'm progressive. Did you catch that?
Jim Clyburn, I'm going to help you out, bro. Do not ever say, I'm the most progressive person you've ever heard of, and then use the word poppycock. You literally, it doesn't even fit.
Then
You can't say poppycock, but I'm progressive. And stop sloganism. Guess what? Sloganism in and of itself is a sloganism.
no, he said sloganeering. I'm like, is that a word?
Sloganeering in and of itself is sloganeering. All you really did was take a certain phrase and gave it a name.
Exactly.
That's it. And anything else you want to say out there is poppycock. You about it. I try not to disrespect people, but when you insult our intelligence, I lose respect for you. You're not progressive.
Exactly. I'm like, He said, I had a whole bunch of problems with this. He said that he was progressive. Then he goes on to slam progressives. I'm like, which one is it?
He is progressive in the city. His thoughts, his beliefs, everything else was progressive thoughts. Progressive beliefs, progressive practice. In comparison to the 60s and the 70s, this is 2021.
Yes.
We're past your definition of progressive, which is why I said in the beginning, Tracy, is that he really thinks that what we have right now, and because of him and what he went through and what he got for the Black community, we done. That's all y'all gonna get. I've been here long enough to know that you ain't gonna get no more. So you really just messing up everything. He don't want to fight anymore. He wants to settle.
And I love how he said, "Oh, this caused Jamie Harrison his seat." No, what caused Jamie Harrison his seat was he was a black person running in South Carolina. Can we just please put that on blast and make that common sense?
Jamie Harrison lost his name because he did what a lot of Democrats did during that running is, hey, there's a black neighborhood over here. You may want to go talk to him.
Yeah, that was
you may want to say to him what you can do for that community. But no, they still want to play that cool by y'all. We need to come together and my black people's gonna vote for me because I'm black. So I really don't have to talk to them. They
now, do you live in South Carolina or North Carolina?
North Carolina.
Okay, so you're close enough. Because my understanding is South Carolina has a large black population.
Yes.
But they're not the majority of people in South Carolina, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No, they have a large enough to change the vote in South Carolina.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, dude, there's a whole bunch of reasons you lost, and none of them have to do anything with defund the police. If you don't understand what defund the police is, Google it. Just go to Google and type defund the police.
They don't want to because that they already decided what it means. And anything but that is a lie and is wrong.
Well, I was just like, if this dude is progressive, something wrong with me. Cause I'm like, no, you not progressive, yo.
He's progressive by 60s and 70s standard. And like he don't want to do more than what he's doing. And let me even push it a little further because so I am on video, right? This is being recorded. Not only do I think Jim Potter don't want to do anymore, but he sure is still going to make sure that nobody else do more than him. Even if it ain't a shot against him. See, at a certain point, certain people like Brown just figure I am in the best. For instance, one of the things that Brown said was, you really don't want a inexperienced radical blah blah blah. They really feel in their hearts that I've done the best and I don't want nobody doing better than me. So any ideas that y'all have that even to help my people, I didn't think of. So if I didn't think of, it's wrong.
Well, according to him, the people are saying write down Brown. I'm like, nobody said that. I mean, you just literally made that up like 2 seconds before you even said it out your mouth. Shut up. Oh gosh, he made that speech. It takes a lot to get me angry. But when I saw him saying and said, congratulations, Miss Walton, you beat me, you fought hard, you did what you had to do, and I'm just gonna go in the private sector. Nope. He's gonna get a write-in campaign. And I'm like, dude, he did not debate her, and he didn't campaign. What do you expect? And then said, well, the people want me. No, they don't. They voted for her. So they don't want you.
They don't. They're riding your way. That's it. You have to believe it, Tracy. There is just certain people. McConnell is exactly the person. I'm not going to debate you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not even going to talk bad about you because, man, I'm going to be voted in. And when it doesn't happen, Trump, then something went wrong. It didn't go wrong. You was voted out. You lost. And you can't accept it. Brown is in the same thing.
Oh, he was worse than Trump. He was way worse than Trump. Because, yes, Trump is horrible, disgusting, disparaging. But Brown, he literally went personal on her. I'm like, what did she do to you? She got more votes than you. Give it up. Run next time.
Well, let me say this for the last thing because I have to get on. I got to go to the show. Like I said, Brown's mentality is he thought he was just going to ride that wave back into re-election. He didn't take this woman seriously, and the woman that you didn't take seriously took everything seriously. That's why you lost. That's why you're going to continue your life. And you can make yourself a writing candidate all you want to. You're just going to lose twice.
Oh, but the people are saying write down Brown. So, Marlon, I thank you for joining me. And we'll see you Saturday when I'm on your podcast.
Yep. I'll see you Saturday.
Okay, talk to you later.
Thanks.
Okay, audience, I'm back by myself. So that was an interesting conversation. And the last thing I wanted to talk about, because it's been a full 30 minutes, has the infrastructure bill. There's, from my understanding, 2 versions of this bill. And I want to make sure I have this right. And if I'm wrong, somebody please type this in the comment section. So there's the Democratic version that's $3.2 trillion. And then there's a subsequential Republican version that's like $850 million. I'm not sure if I had that right amount. But the Democrats finally agreed on a $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill. I'm not one of these people that is going to just keep criticizing, but this is not, it's not going to be enough. We need voter action. I don't see what was wrong with the $7 trillion that was originally proposed, but like I said, with a lot of Biden's ideas, they seem to go by the wayside. So I'm just real disappointed in that, and as usual, I just have nothing positive to say about this administration because they haven't given me anything to be positive about. I know usually I talk about love and hip hop, but I'm not going to tonight. I'll do that next week. And I want to thank everyone for joining me for episode number 2 of Thursdays with Tracy. And of course, if you want to be brought in as a guest for a couple of segments, just like us on Tracy Media LLC on Facebook or on Twitter, or you can always hit us up on email, tracymediallc@gmail.com. I will see you all next Thursday and have a great evening. Bye bye.